Hi! I've done this video twice before on my channel. I had so much fun with it, so I'm gonna do it again. The only person that is requesting this series would be probably me. And that's okay. I put all my songs that I like on shuffle. I don't know what's gonna pop up. Like last time, like Buena Vista Social Club popped up, which was really difficult. But I'm going to have songs randomly pop up, and then I'm going to try and base a book recommendation on those songs. It's actually quite hard, but I sort of like the challenge. So let's see what song's gonna pop up, and I'll try my best to give you what book represents that song best in my collection. If you like this song, then you'll like this book. Okay, these are all my like songs. 2,792 songs on shuffle. So these are all my like songs. I've got like my sort of currently listening going on actually here. You can sort of see what I've been pumping lately through these speakers. I got The Cramps obviously from Wednesday. I'm actually obsessed with Wednesday. It was so good. And then I'm listening to the new Hudson Mohawk a lot because Charlie XCX really liked it. It's like a favorite album from this year, so I was like, I gotta listen to it. And I've got Nerd also playing because my sister was recommending me some Nerd yesterday. I know Nerd though, like I already listened to this album, but she wanted me to re-listen to a few songs. But let's do a random one. I'm so scared that it's gonna be like really hard. Okay, all right, let's go. What song is it? Ah! Of myself. This song is like really relatable actually. I saw Tame Impala live, which was absolutely incredible. I saw them maybe a month ago now, I think, and it was one of my favorite concerts I've ever been to. I saw them with like my two best friends and we had like the best time. They played so many songs from this new album, The Slow Rush, but I don't think they played On Track. On Track though is one of my favorite songs from the album obviously, and this song, it gives me very much growing up, getting older, life being hard, and just like the natural setbacks of life, but just, you know, telling yourself, you know, I'm still on track, I'm still okay, we'll be all good. And sometimes you can look back on the year and it's like, what have I even done? But who cares? And trying to just remind yourself like, oh, I'm still young, I've got my whole life ahead of me, I'll be all right. So I sort of like it because it's very relatable, but it also is making me feel comforted, I guess is the word. So let me try and find a book that sums that vibe up. 1 second. Wow, these videos always surprise me so much because I will start playing the song and I'm like, I have no idea what book would fit this song. Like, I'm so lost. And then I go look at my shelves and I'm like, whoa, this book fits it perfectly. It gives me the exact same vibe. And that book would be Sunbathing by Isabel Beach, which is a local debut that I think came out a year ago or so here in Melbourne in Australia. This was a 5 out of 5. I loved this book. My sister also read it and gave it a 5 out of 5, I believe. So yeah, we both fell in love with this book. It's probably one of my favorite books I've read in the last 5 years or so. It's very much young 20-year-old women versing like the void of life. Sort of, yeah, looking at your past exactly the same as this song really. Just feeling I'm so like lost, or I'm so confused, or life has so many setbacks, it's so hard sometimes, but also like we just keep on trekking forward and we try to see the positives in the day-to-day. I also think that it's not just the story, it's not just the narrative of these lyrics and this book, it's also the actual vibe, because it's like sort of sad and it's really like retrospective, that song, but Tame Impala has a very happy sort of tune to it. Like Tame Impala all the time sounds very upbeat, and I think this book, it has a lot of like depth to it and a lot of sadness, but it's wrapped up in this really nice, calming, chill vibe, which is like Italy. Like a lot of it's set in the countryside of Italy and it's very calming in that way. So I think actually I nailed this one. I'm taking that as a win. Okay, next song. I'm excited now because I killed that one. With the edges, oh, it just started raining. Perfect vibes. Okay, so I already I already know all the lyrics to the song, so I don't really need to read them. I love that line. I'm alive. What a banger. This is the banger of my favorite album of all time, in Rainbows by Radiohead. So yeah, Body Snatchers, such a great song. This song is very much about like depersonalization, like disconnecting from your body, be completely confused by what's going on around you, but sort of loving it. Like, at least they talk a lot about the body, about the bodily experience, but in a very like disconnected sort of way. But then the way in which Tom sings it, he's so full of energy on this track compared to the rest of the album, which can feel very defeated. Like, he feels very defeated on tracks like All I Need or Videotape. But on this track, he's so lively. So I love that he's talking about stuff that's so intense, but he's talking about it with such an energy. This song is so fun. It's got so much, it really packs a punch, and it just livens up my mood and my day. I love this song so much. It's so fun to dance to. So I'm going to try and find a book that can encompass all of that. I have no idea, once again, how I'm going to do that. Let's try. So I got two books here. The first one is A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. This is one of my favorite books of all time as well. Another 5 out of 5 here. This is a classic. It's a dystopian classic, I guess. It's very gory. It's a lot of trigger warning with this book. Alex and his friends, and just the whole world that they live in, is quite insane. There's a lot of nervous, intense, rageful energy going on in this book with the characters, which I think like Tom actually really brings across in this song. Like, the sound of that song, of Body Snatchers, very much matches the vibe of this book and how the characters are feeling. The thing with Body Snatchers is it doesn't really tell a story as much as just give across an atmosphere, and I feel like the atmosphere is really similar on Clockwork Orange. The other book I feel like could relate to Body Snatchers is Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut. I haven't read this book in a hot second. I don't remember much about it, but I feel like this book, it had time travel, and it was a lot of like discombobulated storylines and different time jumps, like trying to connect but disconnecting. Yeah, things not making total sense here in this book, and I feel like that relates to a lot of the lyrics in Body Snatchers. But the thing is, I haven't read this book in a bit, and if anything, when I listen to Body Snatchers, it makes me want to read this. So this is the book that I am mentally gravitating towards, but I also feel like Clockwork Orange could work well here. Alright, next song. These have been sort of easy so far. Oh, throwback to my last video. Oh, so beautiful. Oh. This is one of his best songs. Oh, this song's so good. I'll let it play for a bit. Oh. And this part is so nice, like here at the end, so comforting. Finally, a song with no lyrics, which gives me a bit of a harder job here because I don't have the lyrics to go off of. I have to go off of the actual instrumental section. But the thing is, this is from a movie, this song, so I can use the movie. This is from Howl's Moving Castle, which is directed by Miyazaki. And this is mostly a romance, but it's also a lot of fantastical elements as well, a lot of fantasy thrown into this movie. So when I think of this song especially, it does remind me a lot of Sophie and Howl and their romance. So I'm gonna try and think of a romance book here, but I also want to find a book that brings me a lot of warmth and a lot of comfort, because I feel like this song is it's very nice. It makes me smile when I listen to it. Okay, turns out I don't have like one romance book on my shelf apart from Twilight, and this song definitely doesn't give me Twilight vibes, so I'm not gonna go with Twilight here. So I decided to switch it up. I'm gonna go with love still. It's definitely a book about love and about connection, but it's not romance per se, it's more about friendship, and that would be The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Macquarie. It actually does have a lot of similarities to Miyazaki movies, because Miyazaki movies are very beautiful, like the animation is stunning. This book, it's a lot more free flow, it's a lot more sketchy and not as well defined, but it is very beautiful and extremely visual, this book. There is like a story on some level, but there's not too much writing. It might just be a few words on each page, But it doesn't matter because the visual storytelling is so strong, and that actually is very similar to Miyazaki movies. Yeah, I think when I listen to that song, it makes me feel just as comforted as this book would when I read it. I loved this book so much, and I would definitely go towards something like this, or something like a Miyazaki movie, or Joe Hisaishi music when I need something to just make me feel better. Next one.
How did you see? How did you love? How did you remember me? When I came fall asleep at night, I blindly taught myself to fight. Oh, shadow man, please keep your hands up. It's the nightingale. I think keep you well. Darkness keeps you well.
Shadow man, shadow box, dancing in the dark minutes. Everything I ever loved, I lost in the magic. I playing by the river, my body delivered. When I died, 27 rappers in my funeral.
This song is so interesting because I've never really paid attention to the lyrics this much before. I listened to No Name for the instrumentals. I really love the sound of her music quite a lot, and I like the sound of her voice. Like, I like the tone and how relaxed she is and her delivery. I don't particularly listen very strongly to the lyrics, so this is so interesting because when this song first came on, I was like, oh god, another happy song. I don't know if I have that many happy books left. So I don't know if I had the supply to keep up with the demand, but it's okay because this song is about death. They're all talking about their funerals in this song. I think every artist in this song is African American. I believe all of them are quite young. So it's this idea of like mortality and how much it haunts certain people for different reasons. For instance, their race. So I want to try and pick a book that makes me think about race and open my mind up a bit more to the experience of Black people. So I'll try and think of a book. Okay, so this one was actually quite easy because of a book that I recently picked up, and that book is Notes on Grief by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. My favorite author at the moment. I really like her. I mean, along with Sayaka Murata, she's my other favorite author, but she is one of my two favorites at the moment. This year, I would say, she's been a standout. This is her newest release, her newest non-fiction release specifically, because I really like her non-fiction stuff over her fiction. And this is obviously Notes on Grief. It's about her father passing away, I think a couple years ago now, or a year ago during the pandemic. And it's about Adichie's grief of that, her grappling with that, working through it, and it's, you know, it's obviously about mortality a lot. It talks a lot about that. So yeah, I think this book hits the nail on the head. I'll try and do two more. Let's try and do them quickly. All right, the next song. Okay, perfect. I have so many books that could fit this. Just give me the sad songs, like I asked. Have somewhere to go. This song is so good. This song is like right up my alley. It's about cynicism of other people, about how life will go, about how everything will just turn out bad and you can't help it. Probably not good for me to listen to on a regular basis, but I do it anyways. Honestly, it also makes me think about romance and romantic relationships quite a bit. Like, I do relate it to that a little bit. So, but the thing is, I don't really have any romance books, so I think I'm gonna go with the first thing, more so like the cynicism aspect of it. And also, you know, it's so dreary, it's so sad. You just got Josh on the keys just singing like a sad ballad essentially. There is like a huge instrumental, loud instrumental part in the middle though. The exact same reason why I would love a song like this is why I would love a book like this, and why I love this author, Murakami. Colorless Tsukuru Tazaki and His Years of Pilgrimage, which features a very cynical protagonist. Like most Murakami novels, you've got a very grumpy, lonely main character, usually a dude, and this is no exception here. This book, you end up where you sort of started with this book a bit, just like with this song. This is how life is sometimes. There's no real growth to be had. It's about sort of sitting in it. I think it's mulling in those feelings. I don't know, for some reason I like it. It doesn't really sound that fun when I say it out loud. Pictures in my mind, I can see it so clearly, see it all so right. I see you when I... I'm dizzy. Oh my gosh. What's that song about? A lot of these songs, actually, I listen to for the sound of it, rather than the lyrics. So I really don't know what that song's about. So if I can quickly figure out what this song's about, I can give you a quick recommendation here. Visions of the past, turbulence right from the start, tearing up your heart. You and I, we really went dark. So it's about things maybe right now not really feeling right or not going right, but just holding on and trying to make it work and just like seeing that vision in the future of it working out so you know it's right for you. I got pictures in my mind. Let me try and think of a book. I feel like I can do it. This is the only one that makes sense to me. I don't know why. Paper Girls by Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chang, a comic series that I read this past year. Yeah, and also it came out as like an Amazon series, like a TV series as well. Both are really good. They're very different from each other. Like a lot of changes were made for the TV series, but I actually recommend both. If you're a comic reader, definitely recommend Paper Girls. It's really good. And for some reason, it just, yeah, I feel like, you know, girl power a little bit with this one. I feel like Charlie gives me such strong feminine energy, but like with so much power. And that's what also these four girls were giving me when I was reading this book. It gave me so much feminine power. I was like, yeah, let's go. It's also like high energy. It's like really fast paced, like this song. In regards to the actual lyrics, a bit more of a stretch. You know, this is about time travel. It is about looking into the future, which, you know, Charlie is definitely talking about on this song. It's about her having pictures about the future, having a vision about the future, but also the romance that Charlie's talking about in this song in regards to her and this other person, and seeing a picture of her with that person in the future is literally a plot line in this book. It's literally a plot line between two characters in this book. One of them sees the future and sees them with somebody else that they didn't think they'd be with, and they're like, huh? Like that happens in the future? And it's really interesting. It's one of my favorite plot lines about this book, and you've literally got Charlie here seeing her with this person in the future and having those pictures in her mind. So actually I'm really proud of myself with this one. I feel like this one's actually quite good too. These are all the books that I recommend. I'm actually quite happy with this. Seems like a pretty good stack. I would definitely recommend all of them because I also am trying to pick books that I like, you know, not just books that remind me of the song. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you got either a song recommendation or a book recommendation. Part 3 of this amazing series, this groundbreaking series on this channel, which wasn't even my idea. It was originally another booktuber's idea, but whatever. All right, bye-bye.